Today was the first day of Chris Trout's competitive reign in charge of Leeds United. Their pre-season went very well. They played St Johnstone at home and won that one 2-1 with Cauley Woodrow and Brian Montenegro getting the 2 goals for his team. It looked like St Johnstone might be able to make a fight back as they played very, very well, but unfortunately couldn't get the goal to bring it back and secure at least a draw for them. They then went on to victory against Al Aruba FC, winning that game 1-0 with a Rudolph Austin strike, putting them into lead in the first half, and they managed to see out for the victory. Their last pre-season game came against Partick Thistle, where they drew 1-0. It was an unfortunate turn of events in their own box when Partick Thistle took the lead 1-0, but quickly answered back by Nicky Ajose, getting them back on the score sheet and drawing the game 1-1. Today they started their fight in the Capital One Cup against Luton Town, where Edgar Stevens has a story.
2 new faces in the Leeds United lineup for this game in the form of Emre Can, who is on loan from Liverpool, and Jack Butland playing in goal, who is on loan from Stoke. Emre Can had an impressive debut as he assisted the Antonucci goal that started it all off in the 6th minute of the game. Antonucci went bearing down on goal and smashed it into the top left-hand corner of the net. A very unusual defensive error led to Luton Town getting a goal back and putting it at level terms. It was a real nightmare from Belushi as Cullen managed to pick up the goal for Luton. This time it was Berardi who was going to make the mistake and leave a completely open goal for the Luton Town attack. It was eventually laid off to Lafayette, who put the ball in the back of the net. It looked like it was all over for Leeds United as they struggled to get the equaliser, but it was Emre Can, their debut, setting up his second assist of the game for Jose, who smashed it into the top right-hand corner. Both teams seemed to find an extra gear as they each had an impressive extra time set of play, and it was in fact Cauley Woodrow, the substitute, who managed to find Nicky Jose this time for his second goal of the game to put Leeds United back in the lead. Although both teams seemed to find a new gear, it was Nicky Ajose who found a third, who managed to get his third goal of the game and stick it in the net to put Leeds United at 4-2 and surely through to the next round of the Capital One Cup. We actually had a camera malfunction, so we did catch the replay on a different camera, and it was a terrible pass back from the keeper that led to the error. A night full of errors for both teams, but it looks like Leeds United walk away with a victory and into the next round of the Capital One Cup. Chris, your first competitive win in charge of Leeds United. It was an absolute stormer of a game. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, it's a cracking game for the neutral, and I'm sure if you're a Leeds fan, you're happy that we managed to get through it. If you're a Luton fan, you're probably a bit disappointed about the result. And 6 goals in it, big game. I mean, it was a game of sloppy football. I think we can all agree to that. There was a lot of mistakes being done from both teams. Defensively, we weren't looking as sharp as we should have done. I think Luton had a fantastic game, cracking game, and they made the chances. They took the chances as well. We definitely have a lot of things to work on and look at before our first game of the championship season next week. But it's looking like a promising start. I mean, Nicky Jose, what a cracking game he had. Kept us in the game, went on to win the game for us. His first hat-trick for the club. Fantastic to see that, and I couldn't be more proud of him and more happy with the boys, and it looks like we've got ourselves a little star coming out of the team already.
So you've made a couple of signings since our last interview with you. How did they go?
Yeah, so we made a couple of signings. Emre Can, he obviously on loan from Liverpool, he's really working that midfield. I could see today it was his first game. We put him straight in there and he really did command it quite well. He set up the equaliser to take it to extra time so we could actually go on to win the game. He's looking incredible. He is looking very, very nice and exactly what I want in a midfielder, someone who can actually control the game and set things up, but I know he's got a bit of a goal scoring record in him as well, so I'm looking forward to him really developing with the team and taking us to hopefully get back to the Premiership. Jack Butland, he is a class keeper. I mean, Silvestri, he is a top-notch goalkeeper as well, but I think Jack Butland, when I saw the opportunity to grab him, I couldn't resist. He's a fantastic keeper. He's got lots of potential. He's got so many years in him. He's a young man, big man, talks a lot. He's got a lot of charisma, a lot of character in him. He commands that back line very well. I think it was possibly just maybe a little bit of a cohesion thing that didn't quite work out for us straight away in this game, and that's why we had a couple of moments where people went a bit all over the place. But that should hopefully sort itself out in time, and once Jack gets settled into the team and the defense gets settled down, we'll start to be looking like a really strong and solid squad that can actually upset a lot of teams this year.
Apart from a couple of mistakes, it's looking like Leeds are a solid team this year, and you've made all the transfers you want to make. Do you reckon you're going to be dipping into the market still, or are you quite content with what you've got so far?
I think we'll still make a couple of signings. I mean, you could never have too many players in the squad, and I know it can be frustrating for some of the lads who might not get a lot of game time. I would rather be getting the game time than sitting on the bench every week. But you've got to have those rotational players who will come in and give the other guys some rest. I can only go and play people based on how they perform and how well they do in training and the commitment. So that's that, really. You've got to try and perform it, and Nicky is a prime example of someone who's shown he can show up to the big games and show that he can actually do the business when we need it to, and by that we'll obviously be giving him a starting role in the team. Jose's certainly hitting a fantastic run of form, but will it hold out for the rest of the season for Leeds United, and will Chris Trout still be singing his praises about his strikers and his team for the months to come? We'll have to find out how that develops going through the season.